I can see you. I know our stage lights aren't on, but I can see you. So we're going to try that again because the New Rican Poets Cafe is going to be 50 years old next October. We have been fighting gentrification. I don't know if when you came in here, you took a left, look to your left, to your right. These are $1 million apartments. They are literally gentrifying around us and they are trying to get us out. Right now, there is an elderly couple in Staten Island that's worked their entire life for their retirement. And right now it is near their bedtime and they are starting to tuck themselves in. And right now, I say, screw that, you're retired, you should be at the New Rican Poets Cafe, so we're gonna make some noise. New Rican Poets Cafe, make some noise! Thank you very much. Here at the cafe, we treat poetry like a concert. This is the hybrid open mic. My name is Advocate of Words. I am your host for the evening. I am the programs manager here. I am a touring poet. I teach students how to talk their way out of detention. I literally get paid to talk shit for a living, and I love it. So, the hybrid open mic was created because during the pandemic, we had to shut down just like everyone else. So we went online. And online, we found this beautiful community. We found people on all parts of every continent of this globe. And they were like, I can't get to New York City, but I'm happy for this to be part of the New Rican Poets Cafe. Then when we opened up, well, we do have our brick and mortar. This is what's made the cafe the cafe. But we didn't want to forget our online community. So tonight, we are melding the two. Tonight, we are going to have people from all around the world joining us on Zoom. Tonight, people from all around the world are going to watch the people who are going to rock on this stage. This is why the cafe started the hybrid open mic. As we can see up here, we got some of them people. Some aren't camera shy. They got their cameras on. I'm appreciating that. So tonight we can, all of the people who signed up, they could do poetry, or they could do music, or they could do comedy. Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit of everything. Now, I would like to keep all the spotlight on me because yes, I am a performer, which means I am an attention whore. I have a huge ego. But tonight is not just run by me. Tonight, there are many players who are behind the scene and I wanna make sure I give them love before we start. First off, our tech producer for tonight, in the DJ booth, please give it up for Ron Mark Thompson. He's gonna make sure that we are heard nice and loud and crystal clear. Also, after the show, especially those of you who have signed up and are gonna rock tonight, if you would like to take a look at the show and rewatch it, it will be on the YouTube and Facebook of the New Rican Poets Cafe. I'd also like to give it up for our house manager, who is the next linebacker for the Chicago Bears, especially since they are getting good. He is a visual artist. He does tattoos. He is phenomenal. He runs his own show called Body of Arts, where they're painting on canvases and they're painting on models, and then there's poets performing and singers singing. Please give it up for my man Ralph in the back. Give it up for Ralph. Before you leave tonight, when you were walking out the doors, make sure you go take a look at what Ralph is drawing. During every show, he's always drawing something new. It is fantastic. I love it. Also want to give it up for this young man who is a wealth of knowledge. I encourage you to engage in a conversation with him, just not during the show, because if you engage in a conversation with him during the show, you're going to forget about the show because he is a young man with a wealth of knowledge, and he is running maintenance tonight. In the back, please get up for Huey! Huey doesn't put his hand up that high because he's like, I don't want people to know who I am, because people will go. And the thing is that at the end of the show, that's when we need him to do the most work. And at the end of the show, everyone's going to talk to him. I love it. I love it. So make sure you go talk to Huey. He's in the back next to Ralph. And last, oh no, there's two other people. Okay, so this next person, he's not the most important person in the room, but he's one of the most important people in the room. He is the person that you want to befriend, because right now, he's the one who's gonna piss off all of your exes, all right? All right, we need someone like this. because you know your exes are always checking your social media, right? And guess what? They're not getting pissed off if you're taking a selfie, because you're not living your best life if you're taking a selfie. You're trying too hard. But this man is going to make sure you're not taking a selfie, because he's going to be taking your pictures so that you can put your pictures online and your ex can be like, yo, you look like you're having a good time and you don't even have time to take a selfie. Other people got to take pictures of you while you're having a good time. That is when you're living your best life. So please give it up for our photographer, Abraham Cardona. And he's very good with secrets. He's from Jersey, the part of Jersey where all the bodies are buried. He knows where they are, and he won't tell any of us, not even me. So your secrets are safe with him, and your pictures are safe with him too. He takes fantastic pictures. And last but not least, because he is the most important person in the room. Listen, I'm gonna get in trouble for that comment. My girlfriend is in the room right now. She's like, how dare you say someone else is the most important person in the room, right? And for all of you who think I'm gonna throw a curveball and say it is me, I wanna say that, but it's not me. The most important person in the room is the most illustrious hair in the room. I'm gonna get in trouble for that with my girlfriend, right? The most important person in the room has the most illustrious beard I have ever seen. I think I could get away with that, right? My girlfriend's not gonna be mad about saying that. The most important person in the room is from my home borough, the Bronx. The most important person in the room, X. The most important person in the room, his name is Kenny, and he is our bartender. Give it up for Kenny, our bartender. We got beer, we got wine, we got soda, we got juice, we got water, we got Nuyorican hats that he can give to you. We got Nuyorican shirts, so make sure that you go and you see him. So, and real quick, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love the MCU. Last night, me and my girlfriend, we saw Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I implore that you go and you check it out. But I just want to say something really quick. Just something really quick. I really do love the MCU and the Black Panther. And Wakanda is my favorite fictitious place in the entire world. But I just really want to let y'all know real quick that the Bronx did this first. That's all I'm saying. All of us in the Bronx take pride. We started it first. That's all I'm saying. So go check out Black Panther. So at this point, I do ask that you please take out your smartphone, your dumb phone, you're just getting by in life phone, and make sure that you turn it off or put it on pleasure mode. Oh, someone got a little late. Pleasure mode, vibrate. Come on, people, come on. It's the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. We're gonna say stuff like that. Want to also let you know the artists who come up here, I want to give you, let you know there is no censorship. So some of the artists who come up here, they just may use mommy and daddy language, ooh, 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 wink, wink, wink. Or on a more serious note, some of the artists who come up here, they may share things that are incredibly vulnerable to them and possibly triggering. The founders of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe not only believed in freedom of speech, but they created this space for people who felt voiceless. This was a time before social media. This was a time when Hollywood and Broadway held all the keys to the machine and getting ahead. So this was for those who were voiceless. These are those who were locked out, and they have been encouraged to share their truth, all of their truth. So at times that may be triggering, and I just want to let you know that that just may happen tonight. This is how the open mics at the cafe are run. So we got our pleasure devices turned off or on vibrate. We know that there's a trigger warning. Also, everyone, excuse me, everyone has 3 minutes to rock out. Not 3.5 minutes, but 3 minutes to rock out. We have a full open mic list. Plus, we got a bunch of people who are going to be joining us on Zoom. So, with that being said, Ron, if we can please go across the border to our first performer who will be joining us from Zoom. We are going across the border to Canada because, yes, the United States has more than just the southern border. We have a border with Canada. And right now, as you can see here on the big screen, he has Pinky is there in the background. That's who we really love. That's who we really love. And Jeff, he's okay. Jeff, I mean, he's published a book. He did travel out here to the cafe and light it up. And he's all kinds of entertaining. I love having him be a part of this community. Jeff, real quick, let the people know where they can find you online. Now let's get, let's get a mic check so we can make sure we hear you. Can I get a mic check, Jeff?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear, brother. Let the people know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your poetry.
All right, find me at jeffcottrell.com and Facebook and Twitter. This is my novel, Hate Story, that all of you should buy. It's available from Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And this is called What Slam Poets Want. Hey, kiddo, come here. I want to talk to you for a sec. That was terrific what you did up there, huh? Crowd sure loved it too, and so did the judges. You sure got away with poetry and stuff. I just wanted to introduce myself. Here's my card. I'm with the Teddy Wintergrass Agency in New York, and I'm always on the lookout for big talent like what you got. I really like what you've been doing on that stage tonight. I really dug that love poem you did in the first round. My favorite bit was when you described the poem as, and I quote, awesomely awesome sauce full of awesomosity. Yeah, I really dig that kind of subtle wordplay. It's a rare gift. And that second poem you did about how bigotry is really bad. Wow! I mean, I didn't even know bigotry was bad. Look at the converts you're making here. But here's what I really wanted to talk to you about. Like I said, I'm always scouting around for big talent, and I'm already convinced after seeing you in only one slam that you've got that thing. Teddy Wintergrass is always looking for that thing. Everybody in the biz is looking for that thing, and you've got that thing. I don't even know what that thing is. I don't even think that thing knows what that thing is, but what I do know is you got it. So here's what I want you to do, kiddo. I want you to keep my card and give me a ring at your earliest convenience, and we'll do lunch sometime. Because what I can offer you is opportunity, baby. You'll be so full of opportunity, you'll be constipated with it. There'll be so much opportunity, you'll be begging for a break, and you'll never get a break, and you'll be glad of it. How would you like to see your picture up on the billboards in Times Square? Stick with me, kiddo, and I can make it happen in a year. What about the movies? How about that big, beautiful face of yours up on movie screens all over the world? Moviegoers everywhere seeing your face and hearing you slam your poetry, huh? I can do it for you. What about TV? Late night spots on the Jimmy Fallon, the Jimmy Kimmel, the Jimmy Colbert, huh? Whatever Jimmy floats your monkey, I can do it for you. How about a record deal? No more of those crappy home-burned poetry CDs nobody ever listens to. We'll get you a deal with EMI or Sony. Get you into a real recording studio in New York or LA. We can team you up with some of the biggest music stars of the day, too. How would you like to collaborate on a song with Hanson? Do the kids still like Hanson these days? Who cares? You can collaborate with somebody. Internet. Sure, I hear the folks are using this internet a lot these days. We can get you your own sponsored YouTube channel or whatever the new thing is. We can see to it that your Twitter is the biggest goddamn Twitter in the whole of the known world. People will retweet you until they can't take any more of you, and then they'll retweet you even more. Maybe they'll even find you on the AOL. Who knows? What's that? A book deal. Sure, I suppose we can get you one of those too if that's the bag of wax you're panting for. But really, do people even read books anymore? I mean, other than that Daniel Steele lady, it's slam performance the kids are into these days, and we want to exploit that to the hilt of its peak or the peak of its hilt. But hey, you want to be in books too? We can get you in books too. Maybe the kids can read along with your poems while they're hearing you speak them on your CDs and on the TV bits. Sort of educational like, see? I always like to see the kids get educated. So kiddo, get ready to see your life change. I'm going to see to it that folks from America to Australia, from the Arctic to the Middle East are hearing your slam poems. They'll know them by heart. They'll even dance to them. And think about how rich you're going to be. Money, 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 money. Money. You're going to have plenty of it. So give me a ring and we'll set it up. And the best part is you don't have to go to these dingy bars anymore and perform with losers like these folks. They're just suckers. You're better than them and you know it. Or at least you're going to be soon, kiddo. All right, I'm off to the club with Paris Kanye and my 3 mistresses. I'll be seeing you there someday, too. What slam poets want?
Give it up for Jeff Cottrell! I swear the same agent that has approached Jeff has probably approached me and a bunch of people in the scene. Jeff, real quick, remind the people where they can find you online, brother.
jeffcottrell.com and Facebook and Twitter, and look for my novel Hate Story if anybody reads the books anymore.
Jeff Cottrell, all the way from Canada. Appreciate you, Jeff. Hope you come back soon. Also, I forgot to mention, I can't believe I forgot to mention, listen, It's not only cool that we're doing hybrid, right? First off, we were the first to do this. I know there's other open mics doing it, and that's cool. They can follow our lead. But like, we thought about how can we step this up, right? After we do both of these things, how can we step this up, right? But you know what most poetry open mics don't have? They don't have an after party. And we got an after party. So if you bought tickets to come in here and you're in the cafe, you can stay for our after party. Here's even better. You may say, I know of maybe one or two open mics that have an after party. Okay, but do they have a karaoke after party? No, they don't. So after this, we have our karaoke after party. You are free to stay. Mr. Paul Conqueso is our host. He is at the front of the bar right there. You could go spit to him and be like, she broke my heart. I gotta sing this song, man. And he is going to make space for you, all right? The only people, listen though, because I am very honest, I am from the Bronx. The only people I highly suggest do not do the karaoke open mic are those who have political aspirations. Because you will be filmed making a fool out of yourself, all right? We all do. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. I love it. So make sure you see Paul. With that being said, I'd like to get to our next poet. Also, we have seats up here. If you're near the bar area, you don't want to stand, I got seats on this side, I got seats over here. But right now, before we do that, let us get to our next poet. And I love this next poet. She has been here in New York, then she's in Tennessee. She's bouncing to all different types of places, building houses. She is getting off the grid in the middle of nowhere. And that is Catherine. Catherine, can we quickly get a mic check from you?
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Holy cow. Catherine, wait, I'm looking at the video. Have you been doing your pull-ups? Like, you are looking like mighty strong. Look at that. Oh my God. I know I'm not the only one who noticed. I was like, I think that's the first time I've seen her without like sleeves, you know? Like I said, she's literally building homes and stuff. She's literally in the middle of the woods doing these things. And every now and then, she takes some time to share some poetry with us. I love having her in the community. I think this is her first time with us with hybrid, right? Yes, it is. And you are popping on screen. Catherine, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's hear your fire.
You can find me on Instagram at Lady Catherine May. And here's my poem. I rest my head on sorrow's drum. Low tones, flat palms play steady sobs, an ear against resonant hum. Tranced mind within chest pumping throbs, tears drip, sweat salts splats on wet skins. Low tones, flat palms play steady sobs. We are the sand crashing to make amends. Then baked in the midday sun, the drummer drums on. Tears drip, sweat salts, splats on wet skins. Grievers sweep seas with thumbs, tapping the song. Vibrations bounce, circulate the blood. Then baked in the midday sun, the drummer drums on. One rat-a-tat wraps a blistering flood, heart in hand, seashell, echoing hurt. Vibrations bounce, circulate the blood. Families dancing upon bellowing dirt. I rest my head on sorrow's drum, heart in hand, seashell, echoing hurt. An ear against resonant hum. Thank you.
Louder. So, as you hear, Catherine, I just want to let you know, you majorly messed up because you shared your poetry and the people liked you. And they said that you are one of us, which means every second Saturday of the month you have to join us at Hybrid. I don't care what house you are fixing or building, or where you're at, or you gotta stay with a family member. No, you gotta be here. One more time, please give it up for Catherine. I can't wait till Catherine gets back to New York City so we can get her on this actual stage in here. Thank you, Catherine. All right, Ron, Let's get a little bit more international flavor. We're going to one more poet from Zoom, then we're going to get some people here on the stage, and we'll get back to Zoom later. But we going to my man Poetic all the way out in Japan right now. And I want to let y'all know something. The good people in Japan know about us because this dude keeps getting us on the FM stations out there. Let's get a quick mic check. Poetic, you there?
Hey, glad to see you. I don't get, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. I also like the hat that you are wearing, brother. I like it. Listen, if you don't know Poetic, you are in for a treat. This man takes doing poetry on Zoom to the next level, and I so love it. Poetic, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your fire, brother.
Thank you. This is all my account. Please check my this account. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about poetry with one of my friends who is an awesome playwright, reading a lot of book, and asked me, "What is the poetry forest?" Wow, poetry forest. I couldn't answer it. So tonight, I want to try to answer the new shit. My video forest featuring Paul Valery, because I found the word forest in his masterpiece. So tonight I try to read the original French poetry. I'm not so sure I can read the French well. So please, Mariela, I'd like to Mariela check my fucking French. Please, please now. Please enjoy watching Forest featuring Paul Valery. Let's go.
What is your forest made of? Money? Memories? What is deep in the forest? Wolf? Words? Wait.
Écoute-moi, une trace de mes chairs. Tu sais ça, notre sang, tout le traje étendu. Dans le tourage, un massage se pondit. Tu me vois les bois, c'est news, les tours. Tu regardes son regard, les profanes,
What is your forest made of? Money? Memories? What is deep in the forest? Wolf? Words?
On a des sons sans langage, disco prophétique parleur, des belles chansons qui s'engagent, perdues dans la chair de garde, illumination la jazz, voici par la sagesse, elles sont celles qui osent boire, qu'est-ce qu'on a compté en zone, n'était que la voix du plus sonne, tant que les ondes de cette bois.
What is your forest made of? Money? Memories? What is deep in the forest? Wolf? Words? Wait.
If you love me, take his poison berry. I hate a chicken shit, but I'll give you another one again. With a kiss, and he passed away. Then you must hear me with many points, baby. If you could do it now, I can bring it to you. The diva, the better.
What is your forest made of? Money? Memories? What is deep in the forest? Wolf? Words? Wait. What is your forest made of? Money? Memories? What is deep in the forest? Wolf? Words? Wait.
Je lâche un pied pour you every time.
On a des hommes Son of gosh. Thank you.
Poetic, my brother out in Japan. So this dude's first language is Japanese, right? And then he comes and he spits poems in English and French. And then I don't know what that was at the end. That sounded like binary code or whatever, right? Like the computer. I don't know. That was awesome. Make sure you go check him out on YouTube. He's got a bunch of different videos like that. Poetic on YouTube, Poetic on Twitter. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much one more time for Poetic.
Thank you, Mariela.
Mariella, because she speaks French. So later on, she's going to send him a message. Listen, pronounce it right. All right. He did great, Mariella. Leave him alone. He did great. So let us now get to the stage on here. Let's get to the poets on the stage here. And this first gentleman coming up, there is a reason I have him going first. I will tell you after the poem. Is always so well dressed. Loving the shirt, by the way, man. I'm loving the shirt. And I'm happy that this time he's not wearing the shirt where he's showing off his arms. Because like 2 months ago, he came to a hybrid open mic and he had like this well-fitting shirt. And you can tell he's been doing more than just push-ups. He made me look bad. I was like, what the hell are you doing? I'm the host, and that's supposed to make me look bad. Coming all the way out from Long Island, a mainstay member of this community. Make some noise as K-Von comes to the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is K-Von. You can find me on Instagram at K-Von the Poet. And my first poem is called Stories. This pen wants to tell you all the things I'm unable to. In spite of all that I went through, 2015 was the most insane year of my life. I thought going under the knife would put an end to my pain and strife. I'd rather be alive with a scar than dead without one. I'd rather be there for my parents than leave them with one less son. And my second poem. My second poem is called Doubt. I'm trying to see through a cloud of doubt. Not believing in myself is like a plant that fails to sprout. The constant worry brings on the flurry of ruminating thoughts. Each one creates room in my head and gets caught in a web of lies that I tell myself instead. When I overthink, the flaws of my internal dialogue pushes me to the brink of madness and the verge of sadness. But the fear of being inadequate drives me to never quit. Trying to outdo my past is tough, but what matters most is knowing that I am enough. Wow.
K-Von team. You know what's crazy? The more and more, we are really big on building community. Speaking of that, right? Everyone has homework here tonight who's in the cafe. I know, you're like, I know it's an educational, literary institution, but why do I have homework here, right? You have homework. Before you leave tonight, you are to meet one stranger. Someone you've never met before. And if you're struggling saying, how can I meet someone? I don't know them, what their likes are. We're all experiencing tonight together. So make sure you meet one person. We're like community. It's like church. We know how we do in church, right? Peace be with you. Peace be with you. All right? Make sure you do that. Speak with the other people. Because like I said, I'm building community. And K-Von, I've gotten to learn more and more and more about him. And like with that first poem, I had no idea he had gone under the knife. Anyone who's gone through surgery knows how difficult that is. Anyone who's had family go through surgery knows how difficult that is. I mean, my kid had his appendix removed and I was losing it when he came out of surgery. So I didn't know about that. I'm glad that you were still here, K-Von. And I know the next person I'm gonna call up is very happy that you're here. This next person who's coming up is obnoxiously loud with their whistle when they give love to people. But I am all here for it. I am from the Bronx. This person has been supporting K-Vaughn coming here for a while, for a long time. This person was just constantly coming here just to hear K-Vaughn and of course hang out with all of us. You know, it's like it became like this family event, and I say family because this next person coming up is K-Vaughn's father. And I'm all for it. I'm shouting loud and I'm all for the love you give your son. But right now, you your own artist. Give it up for Davey James, y'all. One more.
Yeah, actually, it's a Blazing Kerosene on the scene. Zing, you can find me on YouTube at Blazing Kerosene, a YouTube boy. Alright, big up my family. Big family in the house tonight. My wife, Ken Shasta, my daughter, Khalees, my nephew, the one-hand bandit, and a beautiful wife, Jenny. Big up our New York crew. Zing! Alright, big up on yourself. Big up all the artists that I performed before and going to perform later, alright? Alright, well this one is called Black Lives Matter. Alright, here goes. When we say Black Lives Matter and you say all lives matter, imagine your house is on fire. Fireman has soak all the houses on your block with water, your ask why. Him say all houses matter. Now you realize the argument is improper. Imagine cop shooting your child like a shotter. And Blazing Kerosene say black people wanna be treated like human beings, just wanna live. Seen Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another brother, left another black mother sada. Black Lives Matter, man, woman, child, grandpapa ratatata, innocent blood splatter. Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another sister, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor. Black Lives Matter, man, woman, grandmother ratatata, innocent blood splatter. Police brutalize black people, but civilize the white people. Shelby police bought the land, Ruth Burger King when them just kill 9 people. But for centuries they treat I evil. Every day you violate my people. Like different planet we come from, them arrest white gunman but murder innocent black people. I thought the police jobs to serve and protect, but in routine arrest and ill neck. Them kill Eric Garner for sell cigarettes. We fret when we see police, we see that. What kind of demonic animal kill a helpless grandmother or a child? Tommy Rice, a play cops and robbers. It's all about skin color. Welcome to United Shades of America. Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another brother, left another black mother sada. Black Lives Matter, man, woman, child, grandpapa ratatata, innocent blood splatter. Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another sister, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor. I matter, man, woman, child, grandpapa ratatata, innocent blood. Up top, respect to Colin Kaepernick. His lowly protest made him a target and shot his career right out of orbit. The whole world start treat him like dog shit. The president called him a son of a bitch. 49, I said it the road quick. Kaepernick was all alone on this dark trip. Racists from all those start to talk shit and burn Nike sneakers and the jerseys on social media. Bottom feeders are trying to diss me leader for millennia. I remember his deeds. Woman against the world and ex-Muhammad Ali. Hated by confederates and conglomerates. Black ball from football, no more game cash to make. Yet still gave a meal to the less fortunate. My hero had a statement to make and it said Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another brother, lift another black mother sada. Black Lives Matter, man, woman, grandmother ratatata, innocent blood splatter. Black Lives Matter. Every day them kill another sister, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor. I matter, man, woman, grandmother ratatata, innocent blood. Well, Jacob Blake got 7 shots to the back. Him have the knife. He never threatened a policeman's life, and now he's paralyzed for life. How is he gonna please a wife? Just because he wasn't born white. But the Kenosha killer was cuffed with no fight and a scratch inside. Him and the cops are all white. Disparities are clear, and that's not all right. Black people in fear in the rear view cops' lights. The worst pandemic is racism. It's systemic, but mostly only black people get it. So we must fight and protest it till governments correct it. Cause what I go and do make it. When Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd, he was annoyed. And none of deadly power trip which he enjoyed. And most the racist the police departments employed. And I wonder why we put a line when we say Black Lives Matter. Blessed.
Why?
So you done messed up too, see? See, now you're gonna have to be here, not just to support Kayvon, I love the fact that you support Kayvon, but you're gonna have to get up on the mic too. The people claimed you as one of us. One more time, give it up for Davey James. I was afraid we were all about to start fighting and jumping and like causing a revolution. I'm like, shit. Okay, let's keep it moving. Next coming up, are you ready? You've been here before, right? We haven't seen you in a while though, right? Yeah, I know, but you are third. It's the third person coming up, right? Where you been? Listen, I always tell people, okay? I always tell people, if you're away from our open mics, there's only two good reasons. One, you are writing the next great American novel. I can respect that if you can't come to an open mic, all right? Right? Or two, the only other acceptable reason is you were doing the hanky-panky and it's making the angels jealous, right? You have to be having divine sex to not be coming here, all right? One time I said that, someone said that they were doing both at the same time. I was like, all right, I don't know how you're doing it, but props to you. Nonetheless, we haven't seen her in a while. I'm happy you're returning. Please give it up for Diosa. Clap as she comes to the mic.
So this is coming up basically like a year anniversary of when I first started performing. So I'm just kind of honoring myself by bringing up an oldie but goodie, and I wrote this in honor of dark feminines and anyone who wants to get with them. Do I come off as needy to you? As if I have no home to return to? Do you get the sense that I require your 2 cents? Please tell me and help me make this make sense, because what I'm not understanding is why when I open my door, I find you back on the fence. Half curious, half shunning my shack because the inside appears a little too intense. Be honest with yourself. If you just wanted to deliver the dick and dip, then just say that from rip, because I'm not the one to pretend that you want to be friends with. You see this ding dong ditch shit? It's some manipulative bitch shit, and this isn't the type of energy I like to get with, so you can keep that emotionally weak shit. Because subconsciously, we all know you ain't ready for this deep shit. The thing about me is, I don't like people that like to spark my curiosity just to trigger my sexuality or tease my insecurities and vice versa. So I'm cleansing house of my impurities, keeping only what means most to me, and only answering those with serious inquiries on how to get close to me, because I've dealt with pitchforks on my front porch by the same people I went to war for. But it's the audacity, lack of reciprocity, and disregard for my sanity that gets me every time. You see, I've been this animal at more than a few lives. This demonized feminine behind enemy lines. So at this point, I'm building this garden of minds. And if you trespass on my boundaries, followed by degradation of my property, I can't be held accountable for the chaos and calamity that falls on your lives. You see, I have to add this clause to my contract for anyone attempting to make contact, because I'm releasing the reins of my dark side. I can't keep putting my heart in the front line. I'm done casting my pearls before swine. So if there's anything you could take from this, is to take my advice. Before you try to get one over on someone, beware of their friends on the other side, because the last thing you want to do is waste a witch's time and play with their mind, especially mine. And I don't want to have to be the reason to fuck up your life. Okay. But let's get one thing clear though. I don't have to touch you though. No. Because this is more than just physical, this is spiritual. Divine feminine, everything is a ritual. Don't you wonder why spelling is usually lyrical? Because I could write up your words if I'm feeling cynical. It sounds satirical, but I'm being serious. And it's okay to be more than a little curious. But your transmitted energy is more than mischievous. And I'm sensing some entities more than envious. So I'm gonna release my hounds to put an end to this. Those demons laughing before, now looking furious. Heyoka empaths laugh to cleanse the barriers. So I'm gonna sit back and laugh since it's hilarious. Remember, she who laughs last lives on the merriest. So I'm gonna say this one more time. If there's anything you could take from this rhyme, is to take my advice. Before you try to get one over on someone, beware of their friends on the other side, because the last thing you want to do is waste a witch's time or play with their mind, especially mine. And I don't want to have to be the reason you fucked up your life. Hey. Stay safe.
Stay safe, my friend. Stay safe. I love it. I love it. Right? If Diosa was on the street just saying that, like we'd all look at her like she's crazy. But like on the poetry stage, you're like, yup, more power to you, more power to you. Make sure you give it up for Diosa. Warning, hazardous to your health. Come correct. I'm from the Bronx. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep it moving. Before we move, I do have to say this. The New York Poets Cafe is a tolerant organization. We allow New York Mets fans to come up and share their poetry. So this next poet who's coming up, I love to tease her, right? Like I have that relationship with him where we're like always going back and forth, trying to one up each other. He is a mainstay member of our community, and he's probably gonna come up here and talk shit about me, but I'm letting you know right now, the dude got a lot of love for me. He actually gave me some Deadpool comics to give to my son, all right? So he's a good dude, and we allow him to talk shit about me, and we love having his poetry here. Please put your hands together for Lawrence Chen! Lawrence to the stage! And that's a cool leather jacket. I gave you love.
Advocate, I only gave your son those Deadpool comic books because I'm sorry for him being a Yankees fan, okay? I feel sorry for him. It's not because I care, it's just, you're gonna make him have a horrible life as a Yankee fan, okay? You're welcome. This poem is about a little black girl, so I should tell you a story behind it because I'm pretty sure people are going to ask me questions about it. My friend over the summer, she moved to Long Island, way out of Long Island, like the fucking boondocks, whatever. And her daughter started junior high school. And one day at school, some boys made fun of her hair. And the teacher told my friend's daughter that basically if she changed her hairstyle or cut her hair, the boys would not make fun of her anymore. What? So I was talking to her daughter and I was telling her basically, next time, some of the boys make fun of you, kick them in the balls. And when the teacher complains, just say like, if the boys cut off their balls, it wouldn't hurt anymore. So my friend was not happy I told her daughter that. She was telling me that basically she's having a hard time at school because, she's pretty much the only black girl in the class and pretty much one of the few black kids in the whole school. And she's been having a hard time adjusting, because she was originally from Brooklyn. And this shit will never happen in Brooklyn. So I wrote this poem for her. So. I know your life is going through a lot of change. Your mother told me at school you had this racist exchange. I wish you didn't have to deal with the racists at this age. It's sad to say this is not just a temporary phase. This world we gave you is still not at the stage where we left all the hatred and turned to a new page. But we're stuck in these backward ages where we're still reading Bibles where racists change all the pages, replacing all the Asians and Africans with people with white skin while they're denying they committed a sin. But this is the world that we live in. And all you want to do is imitate your hairstyle of your mother, like the pictures back when she was younger. You always want to be like her and no other. And nobody should care what you do with your Afro hair. But being black today is still a burden to bear. And there'll be more days when you go through these black girls' pains. But please hold your head up high and never be ashamed of your African hair and name when you look at yourself in the mirror frame. For your veins run the blood of countless stories of your ancestors and their past glories, who refused to surrender or fall to their knees, who fought for us so today we could be free. Some sacrificing their lives hanging from trees, stories that your school history books won't let you see. All the way to your mother, all the way to the mother for the woman she be, even when everybody treated her like she was nobody. Your mom raised you all by herself, with nobody else's help. And I could see a lot of her in yourself. I remember people telling her she needed a man or a spouse. And I won't lie, even I had my doubts. But now you and your mom are thriving, living in your own house. So don't listen to what you've been told. because only God can judge your soul, and you're beautiful in the eyes that God beholds. Now I know we're not the same, and I will never know a Black girl's pain, but I will always be one of your biggest supporters. And remember, you're your mother's daughter. And even when this world is forcing what's traditional, always pour back to us, because our love is unconditional. When there are days it's hard to stay strong in a world where you can't change all its wrongs. And as your mother says, sometimes you don't have a choice, but never let them take who you are and your voice. For I wish I could promise you tomorrow today, but with time, the pain of today will feel like yesterday. Because in the end, I know we will find a way.
Lawrence Chan. I told you he loved me, see? He's my kid, he's worried about my kids. All right, my kid's gonna be a winner. I'm all good with it. Yankees are gonna win. Maybe not this year, but next year. Next year. All right. So let us keep it moving. Next coming up is another mainstay member of our community. And many times I have seen her rush from work just to get to our workshops. I love having her around. Marilee Johnson, are you ready? Put your hands together as Marilee Johnson comes to the mic.
That's good. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Advocate. This is called Just Read the Damn Poem Already.
Yes.
Okay, so this poem I wrote when I was between boyfriends and I was kind of upset and, okay, I'll read the poem now. When he came over, I was dressed up and ready, and he looked the way he usually did, which is to say slovenly. But I don't really want to insult him because sometimes he looked good and, yeah, go on, okay. He looked at me with those blue eyes, held out his hand, and I felt like a princess, in contrast to him. But I tossed back my hair like my pony tossing her mane. I mean, I don't really have a pony, but for the purposes of this poem, right. He really seemed to like that. He wanted to gallop me, to speed off into the sunset with me, hanging onto the halter I let him bind me with. I mean, I haven't really done that binding kind of thing, but poetically, it kind of seemed like, right. Okay. And so he threw one leg over me, slid over the top of me, and gently tapped me with the reins to let me know he wanted me to go, just let him ride me into the sunset or into my bed or wherever was close. And then he, well, you know, he the slovenly prince and me the trussed up pony. I mean, I don't advocate bestiality, but for the purposes of sex play, I mean this poem. That's the end of the poem. I mean, you can clap if you want to.
No, I'm really sorry. I'm really embarrassed. I didn't realize Marilee was going to read the poem she wrote about me. This is kind of awkward, but thank you, Marilee. The people loved it. I love that poem. She's done it out loud. One more time for Marilee Johnson, please. And next coming to the stage is going to be someone who's incredibly nervous, right? So we need to make sure that we make a lot of noise to make her more nervous. Because this is her first time being on the stage at the New Rican Poets Cafe. She's in the back at the bar getting ready. She knows what I'm talking about her. She got a smile. Yep. No need to look behind you. I'm talking about you. You know what I'm talking about. Now, she has been a mainstay member of our community online. I'm really excited to have her on the stage. So without further ado and without further delay, she's headed up. Please give it up for Sarah Erin. Make some noise as she makes her way to the mic. Keep making noise. noise, keep making noise. She's having regrets, she's getting cold feet. Come on, make noise, get her up here.
I feel ambushed. Just a little bit.
You got this.
I didn't even choose anything to read, so I'm just gonna pick a random number unless you guys want to, 1 through 21. 12.
10.
I heard 12 first, so. Okay. All right, so this poem is called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, and it's actually funny that this is the number that came up first because this is actually the first poem that I ever read on the online open mic. It's all meant to be, I guess. But yeah, this is my new book that just came out called Behind Her City Eyes, and it is also based in New York City. All the poems have a slight theme that's slanted towards New York. But yeah, this is the first poem that I ever read. Here goes. The mirror is a magical but dangerous place. It allows your brain a glimpse of what you look like from the outside, but also it allows you to spin a web made by the spider of hyperfocus, which disguises every personally selected aspect of your appearance, the leering qualities only you can see, trapping you in the faulty shelter of its satin when you stand in front of the mirror. What does that pesky silk-spinning arachnid gravitate towards? Is there a running list of physical characteristics it bedevils you into changing? I can picture the gist of it. Be thinner, look younger, be prettier, and this scares me. The presumption believing you need cosmetic enhancements to delay what? The advancement of age, an unhealthy fixation on your least self-appreciated features, or generally any sign of progressing life stage. The right to remain silent isn't beneficial when you are the judge and your own thoughts are the jury. It's not a crime to vocalize your self-castigating internal dialogue, witch hunts for reasons to justify your inability to recognize your spellbindingly timeless beauty. We all have nitpicked the gnats of our appearance, made ourselves cringe a little bit when we see something we classify as undesirable. That's why being terrified of spiders is a widely known and understandably bone-curdling fear. That's perfectly fine. What makes me scratch my head at night is the ever-growing batch of bites, the tiny fangs sinking under your skin, leaving bumps of contrasting characteristics which have consistently itched and left a seemingly permanent scarring swelling below the surface. Long before and long since I've been able to admit how many years I've spent unconvinced I love you more than I should. Although there's nothing wrong with alteration in moderation, it tremendously frightens me and overwhelmingly alarms me that sometimes I look at you and I see a poisonous discoloration, an allergic reaction to those bites which are expertly concealed by your glistening skin, discreetly venomous, increasingly creeping detrimental harm to the woman I have grown to admire. It is commonly acknowledged among those who know you that you are so irrevocably dazzling it renders additional cosmetics unapologetically redundant. However, I do recognize that you don't share that opinion, at least subconsciously, that you may never see what we all see, what I see when I look at you. Over the course of multiple years, I have witnessed and heard the somewhat absurd ways people claim your appearance and personality have changed, and this terrifies me. Quite frankly, it urges me to abscond to your house, break every mirror, and tirelessly trap each spider that crawls from those shards in a barricaded wrought iron cage, only to release them when they vow to prey exclusively on insects instead of your head, then send them far away from you to replace the newly unoccupied space where a mirror firmly held the slightest insecurity securely in place with my eyes. I'm not 100% certain as to where the disconnect between you and your reflection happens. I'm not even clear about where it began, but what I can understand is that these spiders weave deceptively intriguing webs, pique their victims' interest, then pin them stuck to intricate lies, instilling apprehension by clearly appearing at tension's vanity.
as tiny, seemingly unproblematic eggs, then evolving into pestering babies that you start to notice when you get slightly too close, then as fully grown, obnoxiously long-legged adults who inhabit your mind, who feed off of your sight to compensate for their species' atrociously terrible vision. If you intently watch and listen, the genuine praise those around you continuously resound. You will combat your kidnapped vision, crack every leg, break every leg, and cherish yourself the way you deserve to, the way the rest of us do. I want nothing more in this world than for you to be more straightforward with yourself. The fangs, the fears, the scars that you see, they are valid. There are also tough patterns which are just as difficult to weave as they are to shatter. Please, just tell someone. Start with your own reflection if you have to, but I don't want to lose you to a fucking plate of glass.
Sarah Erin! I like the poem, but I gotta admit, can we lower the juice a little? Just thank you. I do like the poem, but I gotta admit that she kind of took the fun out of me thinking about what it would be to be Spider-Man, right? Getting bit by spiders. I was like, God damn it. All right. Make sure you go get see Sarah Erin. Congratulations on your first time at the cafe, Sarah! And I think that was her book in her hand. Yes, Sarah, that's your book? Cool, go speak to her. And she has some. Go speak to her about her book. All right, let's keep it moving. Next, coming up on the open mic list, down the block, there is this other cafe. It's like this book cafe. You go in there, you get your drink, and you can read and all of that, right? So my girlfriend, the traitor I thought that she was over there and hanging out, right? And then, what I found out was that she just wasn't hanging out there, right? She was trying to recruit people. And this young man who's coming over here has been recruited. Now listen, we treat him with respect, because he may be a spy for the book cafe, I don't know, or we may just be able to get him to come over to our side. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Avi Tuckman Cop as he comes to the mic.
I'm definitely a spy. I feel so welcome here. This is amazing. I was actually on a first date when Mariella noticed me there, and next thing I know, I'm in this amazing place reading poetry. So like, life is beautiful that way if you just like notice people around you. I am from California. I'm new to New York, so this like experience is incredible. I am a healthcare worker, and in 2020 and 2021, I was part of the COVID response team for the city of San Francisco. Thank you. And that was really hard, and processing all of my feelings and emotions led me to start writing poetry, so in a weird way, like, thank you, COVID, maybe? And then I moved to New York, and I had no idea what neighborhood I wanted to live in. I just like, New York City, it's all the same, right? Like, whatever. So I somehow ended up in Park Slope, where there are lots of children. And no one told me that. So this first poem is not all based on my real life true story. It's called I Hate the Children. I hate the children running around Park Slope. I hate them. Noisy, smelly little vermin contaminating 7th Avenue, utterly clueless about how burdensome their bratty little lives really are. I hate the children jumping around the playground, entitled, hopeful little critters, daring to play, to laugh, to dream, the audacity of these brainless little bastards to hope. I hate the children hopping down the sidewalk, watching out for nothing, prancing about like there's nowhere important to be. Untarnished, scarless skin, just wait, you little moron. Life will roll out its carpet any day now. I hate the children. Their dads haven't even fucked them up yet. And idolizing their teachers? It's pathetic. I hate the children running into oncoming traffic like that soccer ball is worth more than their whole goddamn life. Oh, I hate the children running around my block. I know, I used to be one. And probably someone used to hate me. And now that I'm a grown-up, I know I'm not very much worth hating, am I? So here, give me your hand, little bastard. Look both ways before you cross the street. The second poem is something that I struggle with every day. I struggle with depression a lot, and there are highs and there are lows. And I have a very complicated relationship with hope. Say that. Hope. When I awake, I can almost feel you wash over me. Sometimes it waves, sometimes just a faint sprinkle. But you're there, you're always there, and I'm grateful. What are you? Are you real? Are you ethereal? Are you inherently omnipresent? The constant accompaniment, the persistent companion? I'm often unaware of you until you're absent. You don't just walk away, do you? Usually you flicker for a while, like a street lamp on a remote corner of a once proud city. Sometimes you fade to such a dimness, I'm certain for a moment that you're gone. It's a difficult moment. But then you come roaring back, triumphant. A cable car charging up its familiar hill, and I'm grateful. And it's like you never left me. And I'm ashamed for thinking you had. And I'm furious at myself for always needing you. You offer me nothing tangible. You're not accountable. You provide me with no shelter, no friendship, no love, no knowledge, no real substance of anything. And yet I'm totally certain that I can't exist without you. These days you tend to hang out by the doorstep. Are you announcing your arrival or threatening your departure? I always invite you back in, for in my home there is always room for you. Stay with me, please. Stay with me, please. When I awake, I can almost feel you wash over me. And I'm good for one more today.
Feel like I had a good date tonight. I met this interesting girl, Mariella, but no, you came here and you fucked up. Because every second Saturday of the month, you're gonna have to be here. The people claim you as one of us. One more time, give it up for Avi. And I like the range, right? I like the range, right? Only in poetry can you talk that much shit about kids and not get locked up. You know what I mean? It was great. It was great. And then flipping it, and then he got serious. I like the range. Again, I encourage all of you, make sure you meet someone new here. Speak to the poets that came up here tonight. Live your life, especially that, I know that like outdoors has been open for a little while now, maybe about a year or so, but still, like, we know what that was like where we couldn't make that human contact. So please make sure that you do that today, tonight. Make sure that you stick around afterwards, get your drink on, see Paul con queso so you can make a fool of yourself, just like everyone else enjoying karaoke after party. Make sure you do so. All right, we got 2 poets on Zoom that we are going to get to, and then we're going to get back to the poets here in the open mic right here at the cafe. Let us get to Jeff Taylor. Is Jeff Taylor there? Jeff Taylor is one of the, oh look, he got the sunglasses ready to go. Jeff Taylor has been with the community, I think, for about a month or so. Love having him on. He's on our Monday and Thursday night online open mic. I'm excited for him to be part of Hybrid. Jeff, real quick, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your words, brother.
Thank you, Advocate of Words. Yeah, people can find me at the Garage Poets on all the social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. At the Garage Poets will get you to me. And so here's my poem, 10 times 42. I packed a bowl because the J-O-B is F-U-C-T. I took hits from the bong because the government. I've taken joint rides with my boss, and I've taken joint rides because of my boss. I stuck a piece of hash into the end of a safety pin because someone spread eggshells all over the floor. I wake and bake with concentrates because morning glories are useless on a 2 a.m. car ride. I haven't tried my hand at cultivation because I've been bald since my 20s. I deleted the app connected to my Bluetooth-enabled vape pen so the feds can't track my habits. I bought a smell-proof pouch because the NSA caught a hold of this poem before I wrote it. I'll take 2 puffs from the peace pipe because I'm both an Autobot and a Decepticon. I'll roll a blunt because I've worked hard to be good at what I do. I'll pass to the left because I've been hopping fences for too long to not already have hit the grass. I'll keep killing brain cells because one of these days I'm gonna catch the one I've been hunting. That one there is 10 times 42. I think I have time to do one other one. This one is I'm not, but I am. I'm not campaigning to be president, but I'm building my library. I'm not the founder of a social network, but I'm wearing a hoodie. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I talk sitcom philosophies. I'm not a spy, but I'm chain smoking. I didn't go to flight school, but I'm a stoner. I didn't find God, but I married my best friend. I'm not a cult leader, but my children love me. I didn't consider myself an alcoholic, but I over-celebrated every minor holiday. I didn't create change, but I'm listening to podcasts. I'm not heavyweight world champion, but I beat myself up. I didn't make the All-American team, but I know how to play the game. I'd make a terrible waiter, but I'll bring you what you ask for.
Jeff
from Boston. Love New York.
Jeff Taylor. He's making me want to be Spider-Man again. I am all good. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the night. I love the guy. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, wait. I think Sarah stepped out. She's like, Spider, I gotta go. No, she's at the bar getting a drink. Make sure you get your drink on. Go see Mr. Kenny over there. Thank you one more time. Give it up for Jeff Taylor. Now, Jeff Taylor talked a lot about those funny cigarettes, smoking those funny cigarettes. That's how the older people on my block used to call it. And this next person coming up is not only going to inspire you to want to smoke one of them funny cigarettes, but they're going to also inspire you to start a revolution. And that is Joski C. Joski, can I get a mic check from you? Oh, he good and ready. Joski, I've got a crowd here who's ready to roll up the ganja and then go start some shit. Everyone give it up for Joski C.
Thank you, Advocate. So I wrote this song about the culture wars here in the U.S., and I want to dedicate it to the teachers. This is called Uncomfortable. Can't teach history, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach science, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach geography, from sea to shining sea. Led by the lost, counting the cost, makes them climate makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach about heat, makes them uncomfortable. Can't teach about the cold, frozen hearts of old. People were bought, people were sold, makes them uncomfortable. Switch off the lights, turn off the car, in the dark between the stars. Can't teach about slavery, that makes them really uncomfortable. They didn't do it, that was somebody else. Privilege of skin, doors that let them in. Jim Crow was their kin, they feel it deep within, makes them uncomfortable. Switch off the lights, turn off the car, in the dark between the stars. Can't teach knowledge, makes them uncomfortable. Listen to them spew their ignorance. Is hoping that you see it's in our history. Makes them uncomfortable. Uncomfortable, makes them uncomfortable.
Joski C, a mainstay member of our community, right? Everyone's like, yo, I need a blunt. And I need a place to go fuck some shit up right now. I need to make some people feel uncomfortable. One more time, give it up for Joski C. Love it, love the talent, love the talent. All right, we are down to our final 6 artists of the evening for the open mic. And then afterwards, we're going to take a little break. You're going to be able to go to the bar. Make sure you go get your drink on. Kenny's over there. Make sure you go get your sign on for the karaoke with Paul con queso. So let's get into it. Next coming up is, where's Ether? Where's Ether? Let's go to Ether. Ether. Here he is. Give it up for Ether the Poet. Clap as he comes to the mic. Keep having, keep having. He is here.
What's up, y'all? I'm Ether the Poet, but I still haven't gotten around to making my social media match that, so y'all can find me online at Ethan Naveen. That's Ethan_NAVEEN. All right, so there was this viral video on social media that said NASA was founded to explore both space and the ocean. And it wasn't true, but I believed it for a second because for generations we've been telling stories of the sea and the sky push and pull, the moon and the tide. In ancient Greece, Amphitrite was goddess of both the moon and the sea. She was power, even her name, Amphitrite, from 2, 3. Now my father is Hindu, and in the Vedic text, the moon is a symbol of reincarnation, rebirth, which is to say when they bury us, the moon pulls us back to life. And my mother is Christian. And when she pushed me out of the oceans of her womb, she wrote me into that mythology, dichotomy in one body, like Amphitrite from 2, 3. And all of that is to say that I think there's a reason that NASA is so obsessed with space but refuses to explore the ocean floor, and I think it has to do with ancestry. NASA is obsessed with space because it's the white man's instinct to send ships to shores he's never seen before, but the oceans, well, we down there. And it's all some Little Mermaid shit, but it's also children of our ancestors carried in the bellies of ships. It's music born of those walls where our thighs were drums that our hands played like heartbeats. It's history in the waters of our mother's wombs. History in melanin that glows like moonlight. History. History in the music of our ancestors whose voices echo on the tides while I walk the beach at night, singing songs in a language that I just can't seem to wrap my tongue around, leaving me gasping for air, the taste of salt filling my lungs, and when I tilt my head back to keep my nose above the surface and catch a glimpse of the star-filled sky, the sky looks just like the waters of the motherland. And what I mean is, if you've ever seen a body of water that the white man hasn't touched, it's filled with life, and at life it literally glows. As if the whole galaxy lived in a pond just outside the village, so close that you could drag your fingers across the water and touch the starlight. And I think that's why NASA doesn't explore the sea, because the sea is just like a brown body. Wine dark like our melanin, powerful like our singing voices, soft like our shea butter skin. The sea is just like a brown body, so filled with life, we glow. Thank you.
Ether the poet. They actually say, like, there is so much of the ocean floor that we have not explored. And there's actually some coast off some certain countries that they won't allow us to explore, even though some people have found like some pottery and weaponry that we really can't place in what era or what culture they're from. And all right, let me not get conspiracy theory about Atlantis sinking and everything, because I'm about to go there. But it really is interesting to look into like how much of the ocean floor we have not explored. Like, we know more about our solar system than we do about the ocean floor. So I thought that was really interesting. One more time, give it up for Ether the poet. And keep clapping, as coming up next, the editor of an anthology, the publisher of a book, and the publisher of a second book. She just had her second book published, she said recently. Give it up for the beanie goddess herself, Deadpan Lizzie. It's beanie weather.
Always beanie weather.
Always beanie weather. Thank you, Beanie Brother. Beanie Blessings community. You can say it back. But yes, my second book just came out, Inner Visions, a book of proses. It is on pre-order now. So if you want to learn more about that, find me after, and also on IG, ES_Strauss. This is called Not a Love Poem. Will she remember how two souls were so intertwined, how nothing could tear them apart, how the world stopped when they were together, how the skies shined brightly, how the wind stayed calm in their presence, how the moon shined over her and the other beamed brightly, how she ripped them apart so easily. One soul pondered for years if the shattered pieces that seeped deep into the earth's soil would heal them, if the spirit of Aphrodite would guide them again, if moving on was the best journey for both. Days that turned into weeks, then months, and eventually years of silence. Then the shattered pieces slowly began congealing and hearts began healing. Brains stopped running a mile per minute. Would two souls who were once so intertwined ever be the same? Will their hearts melt into each other again? That pain cannot pry them apart? No. Too much growth, too many realizations. One earth sign clinging to the dirt and sand, the other a water sign not hiding. Always exploring under the giant blue blanket. One water sign, two souls, two opposites, two beings who should never fall in love, who did not defy the odds. Not a love poem, and that was written December 2018. So thank you so much. So if you want to talk about the book or my other books, I'll be in the back. Thank you.
Deadpan Lizzie, a mainstay member of the community, and I know she will be sticking around for karaoke as well. She'll be getting it in. She gets down with the get down, as I say. All right, we are down to our last four poets. Next coming up, if I believe, wait, Ron, I left the list over there. I know it's not Emily Cordes because we're saving her to the end because it's her birthday. I know it's not Messiah because Messiah is right before.
Cap.
Cap. Oh, wait, we're down to our last three poets?
No, oh, we got Nick as well. Nick.
That's what it is. So next coming up, so you have heard the people chant "One of Us," right? And it started with this gentleman who's coming out from dirty Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Nick Paleologos!
Let me hear you. Let's do a vibe check. Oh, little hand. Oh, cool. I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I thought this was the New York Poets Cafe. Let me motherfucking hear ya! There we go. Now we're good. Happy birthday, Adverse's reaction. Your 1 year birthday was Sunday. But I'm not gonna read from you tonight. I only got one, and it's gonna be interesting because I've never done this before here. Yeah, it's literally gonna be new shit on the spot shit. I'm gonna improv my entire poem. Well, except one line. I just have to remember what the one line was. But if you want to follow me, the real Nick P on IG, Facebook, Nick Paleologos. Let's get into it, all right? You know. I looked in the mirror when I was 18 and I said, damn, I look good. Like, not just any kind of good, but that, like, James Brown, so good. That's so good. Because I dropped 40 pounds from 180 to 140 real easy. But see, 15 years later, after many freshman 15s, it just simply did not feel the same being in my own body. It felt like I was gaining weight, and the more weight that was put on top of my shoulders felt right into my stomach as I tried to reach out with my hands and try to dig deep into my stomach to try to pull the acid out. But see, I could never get my fist as far as my front teeth. It sucks sometimes having so much body dysmorphia about it that I have to put disguise upon disguise upon disguise to try to layer everything down, to try to drown out the unknown depths of my own soul. But I was able to pull out of it with an oar, going through unknown waters and uncharted territories, finding the forest full of trees. But see, I chased fear once, and it happened again. A few months ago. I simply decided to say I had enough. I wanted to drop literally everything on the ground and say, I am running. I am finally going to use my legs and take the hamstrings that have held me down and say, fuck your ass. Let's go. Let's just fucking go and run and get out of where we are, this room of torture that's no more anymore. I decided finally to live in the times and simply elevate to higher levels. And one day, I hope to see you at the top.
Nick Paleologos. We treat our poetry shows like a concert. He treats it like a rock concert, and I'm all here for that. And I love that was all improv too. Yeah. Oh, there was some depth to there. That was some depth. Let me tell you real quick, right? So before this show, I hosted a workshop, and one of the biggest things that I'm learning more and more about people who are writing is they get in their own way. So that's why I give them time. You only got 3 minutes to write. You only got 4 minutes to write, because then you have to go off instincts, and you can't get in your own way. And I love the fact that he improv, because I feel like there are some things, there are vulnerable things that spilled out of his mouth that he's had an hour or two to put in a poem. He may have talked himself out of it, because I know I have before. So I appreciate what you just did, Nick. One more time, give it up for Nick Paleologos. We down to our last 3 poets. We going to the Bronx to pull out Cap to the stage. Make some noise as Cap makes her way to the mic. Down to our last 3 poets. Make some noise, make some noise.
Thank you.
little nod to my dad today. Hi, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for the time, thank you for the space. I have, since last hybrid, I've learned a lot about myself, my ancestry, my origins, and it's been very life affirming. I've also been very much emotional and nostalgic today, so I'm gonna be sharing 2 pieces for my parents. This first one is a love note to Winters in 15233 KRD. I used to hate it here, the emptiness. I guess we tried to invite love here. You can't find her if you're looking. If you're working, she finds you. She's in the 6:45 a.m. thunderstorm and 10:30 a.m. bird songs, in the 11:15 a.m. coffee and 3 p.m. relief. She's in the 6:15 dinner prep for the 7 p.m. news hour, in the 9:20 p.m. laughter and 10:45 p.m. kisses. The emptiness isn't empty when love is here. Old and new, she grows them both and knows no bounds. The second one is a piece from my book, Stories. I don't have any copies on me, but next time maybe I'll remember. This piece is called I Collect. I collect moments I wish to never forget. A little piece of life that still makes my heart dance, basking in the zephyr of memories like flower petals lifted and tossed about beautifully. Life is both short and long, length dependent on the collection of memories. Moments, both good and bad, moments that stretched, pulled, and tugged, maybe tore at your being, growing and blossoming the spirit inside you, defining the light that beams from your head, moments in which I fell in love with life, in which a flower bloomed from my eyes. And though petals fall and loving memories fade, my collection of moments, pressed petals in a book, will last a lifetime, preserved in the cavities of my mind. Thank you. You guys can find me on Instagram at @writes, C-A-P, like a hat, .writes. Thank you.
A mainstay member of our community. Hey, you haven't been to the workshop in a while. We missed you. Just want to let you know that. Okay, yeah. You know, I want her to come to everything. All of our online open mics. We do our open mics here in person. Our workshops. Yeah, we got a lot going on at the New Eurekan. So just check out neweurekan.org. We do have workshops going on. We got online open mics, in-person open mics. We got films that we're showing here. A bunch of different things. But let's move on because we got 2 more poets to go. This next poet coming up, I like to call him Dr. Strange. Now, there's nothing wrong with him. That's not why I'm using Strange. Those of us who know about Marvel Comics, we know about Dr. Strange. He is he's not a wizard. He's a mysticist, right? And and what he does, what I see him do a lot of times is like he goes into his astral form. It's like his soul leaves his body, right? And every time I hear this next poet and I hear their poetry, I always imagine him leaving his corporal form, going into the astral world, and then like writing his poetry, dropping it in front of his body that's kind of like in the corner, not moving, right? And then his spirit comes back into his body, then he shares it with us. And after you hear his poetry, you may believe the same thing. Please put your hands together as my man, Messiah, comes to the mic. Give it up for Messiah.
How's everyone doing? Great. So I'm gonna read 2 poems tonight. Both are love poems, and I'm just gonna get right into it. Here's the first. It's called Amaravati. The wisdom of a mere flower precedes the generation of the atom. For its bloom is the blessed reality of nature before time and space, the divine stimulation of origin. And as the song of a new moon laments serenity in the laconic physique of evening, bashful, The flower beseeches the goddess for the clarity of a solar revelation to feed from the beauty of Indrani herself. Consumed for the heart of heaven to impose its vision of sublime earth in a mere flower, its perfume is the scent of billions and infinite still the tantric years of cosmos, natural, a contact woven by affable spirits, hidden in the energy imagining the gods into being. Merely a flower that I have picked for you, my only love. Its story is the catalytic continuum of gods and cosmoses come and gone. It is where the immortality and finitude of being meet in the blossom of life's surrender, where celestial secrets are kept and given, where my life finds its purpose in this flower's symbolic arousal of our life together, intimated in your love. You are the intimacy of a flower. And here's the final one. It's called Your Song. I wonder, were I a mind affecting the cosmic touch omnipotently, a pervasive nebula of reflection encompassing illimitable noumena, would I yet have the capacity to reach your song? Your lips, the parted illusions nurturing salvation's edict of soul. Your song, the mastery of beauty's primordial volition, an evolution penetrating every breadth of universal confluence. In that union, in your breath, the stars are born. Being assumes from the bowels of will its insatiable hunger, as I find miracles in the finite approach of life's sweetest palliation. In your song lies faith undiminished, the assuagement of surrender, but also resistance to implied fragility, insistence that we are but mortal. In your song, our brave felicity in unmasked mortality becomes love of fate, appreciation of the wisdom rising of this one impenetrable truth, that we will one day die. And it is your song that carries us all in death to the saccharine waters of heaven, Aru, Elysium. As I become a mind of infinite seed, your song yet would reach me, and I, born from the uterine peace in the sound of your truth, my finitude is the music of your pregnant word, solace without aloneness, beauty without violence. In your song, beatified struggle finds a voice, and when the song ends, as the universe ends, so will being, the sound of love, retreat back into the emptiness where the Creator writes a new song, where your immortal life will await to sing us all into being again. Thank you.
Messiah! Wait, Messiah, was that Latin? Did you read some words in Latin? Egyptian. Oh, in Egyptian. Look at that. Dude, it's fire. Now, Howard, and I'm mad at him. My girlfriend's here. She could be like, you never say I have the wisdom of a flower. You don't speak to me in Egyptian. You must not really love me. You're giving me problems. Give it up for Messiah, y'all. So, I'm also the programs manager, as I mentioned here, which means that all of these great artists that we have come in, I get to work with them. I get to help them, build up their shows, get them everything they want and all of this stuff. And I love working here. I love it. I've been coming here for like 2 decades and whatnot. And so getting to work here the last several months has been awesome. And this next person who's coming up, I so want her to come back and work here. I know she's off. She's doing beautiful things on her own. She's living her best life, right? And then she still comes back and she hangs out with us at open mics, or it's online or here in person and whatnot. But I really want her back. So if you want to tell her she needs to come back, right? You totally can. You want to hound her all night to remind her to come back. She's more than welcome. I'd love to have her here. But I'm making a big deal about her today because tomorrow is her birthday. Okay? Tomorrow is this woman's birthday. So she's not only great with the admin work and the social media work, she's a fantastic writer, and she's also a fantastic producer and director and a fantastic actress as well. And I'm so happy that she's here. And you know what? Before we get to your poem, we're going to sing you happy birthday. So you need to come on stage. Emily Cordes, rhymes like goddess. And real quick, I can't sing, but y'all gonna sing. We're gonna sing happy birthday. You know, you're gonna take it. You got the spotlight. No, enjoy that spotlight. Get all that love we about to give you. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
To you, Emily.
Happy birthday to you.
We love you.
Happy birthday, dear Emily.
Please come back and work at the job.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Emily Cordes! Thank y'all for that. And without any further ado, Emily, the microphone is yours.
All right. Wow. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be here, even more so because I am freshly recovered from COVID and almost didn't get to be here. I tested negative today, best birthday gift ever. And there is no better way for me to celebrate it than with my family here. So this one is going out to my fellow Scorpios. We got any other Scorps in the audience? Yes, you know what I'm saying? Yes, all right. This is called Dia del Alacran. With 5 planets in Scorpio, I joke that I'm hot-wired to be a sex goddess or a sociopath, depending on my mood. This is only partly true. We're not as evil as you'd think, and even then, we're pretty goddamn cute. Diabolitos, not cursed, but blessed to enter life when Los Muertos make their yearly visit, crossing through that veil-thin revolving door, winking and waving high to and from the other side, building homes where angels fear to, arid deserts turned to gardens, pathways lined with marigolds and painted skulls. We know that La Katrina smiles, and exoskeletons of poison bugs protect soft and gooey insides. So we don't dread our demons. We sit them down for chat and spiked hot chocolate, picante pero sabroso if you can handle it. And in doing so, transform enemies to friends. So consider yourself lucky to score tickets to our party. We'll play Loteria in the dark, but don't bet the house. El Alacran's our lucky card. Gambling not for souls, but for enlightenment, because the treasure's always buried deep, in darkest soil where trees begin as acorns, and los huesos de los antepasados speak. Thank you.
Emily Cordes, happy birthday. So we have to wrap up the open mic, but the night is not over. As I said, our bar will be open. You can get a shirt, you can get a hat, you get your drink on. Our karaoke is afterwards. You can sign up with Paul Con Queso. Listen, you gotta go see Paul Con Queso. I'm telling you right now, he's the only person that I have ever met in my entire life that can pull off a mullet, all right? Like, he does it. He's got a mullet and a man bun. I don't know how he is doing it, but he is pulling it off. Make sure that you go speak with him. Get your signage on, speak with people here in the who've come here to the open mic. Make sure you meet at least one stranger before you leave. If you want, you can rewatch the show. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. Shout out to everyone on Zoom who joined us. Huge shout out. Thank you also to Ron, Mark Thompson, to Ralph, to Huey, to Kenny, the crew of the New York Poets Cafe tonight. I appreciate y'all greatly. We're going to be doing it again December 10th. That is the second Saturday of the month. And again, please check out nuyorican.org. Also, you know, I do a lot of work with the cafe. Sometimes I do work outside the cafe. You can give me a follow. Look up Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that is with a Z. So, you ain't What was I gonna say? I think I covered everything. Covered the website. Next week, do this. Yeah. So please hang out, get your drink on, speak with people. We're gonna play some music. They're gonna start to shift the stage around a little bit to get ready for karaoke. Thank y'all for coming out for tonight. I'm your host, Advocate of Wordz. Everyone get home safe and don't rob anyone. Peace. Ron, let's get some music for the people, brother.